And welcome back to a very special Careful Boys, where we are very careful boys. And today we're talking about who is the biggest impact on who you are today.
Ooh. Whoa.
That's a good question.
Damn, these type of questions are crazy.
Yeah.
The biggest, wouldn't it be your parents?
Well, but who you became could necessarily be that if you want.
I don't appreciate Ryan laughing at me like that.
I think it's a combination of people. I don't know if it would be like one takes like the full.
Who's the Mount Rushmore?
But the biggest though, who's the...
What's the one you have to keep?
I
Yeah.
like that. Who's the Mount Rushmore?
Who's the Mount Rushmore?
Oh, I like that too.
Who's the Rush Limbaugh?
And they got to be whites.
Who's the... Oh, okay.
Have to be whites.
George
They
Washington.
have to be white.
Mr. Rogers.
Oh, Mr. Rogers. He was my favorite white guy.
Mr. Rogers, man.
Good list. Strong
What
list.
about Van Damme though?
Phil.
Van Damme was a good white guy.
Sure, Phil?
Gordon Ramsay.
Oh, Gordon Ramsay. Steve Urkel was my favorite white
But he's
guy.
not white.
He's pretty white. We just yelled. He's not white.
His name's Jaleel White.
Man, that's a good fucking question.
The Full House dad, Bob Saget.
He was like a father.
If I had to do a white Mount Rushmore,
You don't.
Yeah.
Because the white, I mean, Mount Rushmore is kind of white.
change the prompt.
It's already white.
We can only pick from one.
Who
guy
are the
on
greatest
Mount Rushmore.
white people on the earth? Like apparently that's the topic.
Bob Saget, Jean-Claude Van Damme,
This is what we talk about.
Mr. Rogers,
Yeah.
and I think David Hasselhoff.
David Hasselhoff.
Hasselhoff.
Strong pick.
Dude, David Hasselhoff is
That's a
major.
sneaky pick.
Pick the honeys that gave me boners as a kid.
That's tight. That's tight.
But his son was so annoying. Remember Job or whatever his name was?
Yeah.
Job.
The kid that they
Hobie?
brought on? Yeah, Hobie.
Hobie.
Yeah, Hobie.
Most
Yeah.
annoying fucking kid. Every week getting fucking almost killed by sharks and shit.
Also, you're just envious of him.
Every week.
You're just envious that he gets to hang out with them.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, who's my Mount
I
Rushmore?
would say my Mount Rushmore of white guys would
great
be
whites.
the Great Whites would be Hulk Hogan,
Oh.
Mr. Belvedere.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Mr. Belding.
Huh? Who's
Mr.
that?
Belding.
Oh, Mr. Belding.
You know.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Haskins, Dennis Haskins.
Dennis Haskins.
Yeah, I like him.
What about the
Charles in Charge.
Who's the boss guy?
Yeah. Remember Charles in Charge?
Charles.
Scott Baio.
Of our lives.
Okay.
And then the last would be Alan Greenspan. All right.
Alan Greenspan, chairman of the Fed? Former chairman of the Fed?
I don't know. I just made that word up. I knew he was an old special man.
Oh, dude.
Good list.
Fucking Khabib, number one. Come on, dude.
That's not white.
He's not white.
He's the white passing.
No. 4 whites, bro.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh, that's a strong pick.
That's a strong white.
That's
Stone Cold.
fucking white, man.
Fuck. I think that's it, dude.
Stone Cold, Stone
I like how we all have wrestlers.
Dylan.
Dude, Stone Cold. Jean Claude is up there, bro.
I
Okay.
agree with that.
Jean Claude is up
Yo, but
Technically.
Have you seen the Splits ad?
Yeah.
Yeah,
doing
the
the
truck,
splits
the
between trucks?
Volvo.
Tight, dude. Tight.
I might have just skipped over a legend.
Who?
Okay,
Larry Bird.
no. Andre the Giant. But I don't know if he's white, because I saw him as a giant.
That's true. Is he a
He's
giant?
above race.
He looks like a caveman giant.
Where is he from?
I think he's
I
from
don't know.
Texas.
He's from Austin.
I have no idea.
All right, who are you guys' real Mount Rushmore?
No, let's keep doing this.
What the fuck? Archie Andrews. You guys know who that is?
Who's that?
From Archie Comics.
Oh, Archie.
He's like,
yeah.
I think actually, this is an honest answer. He really is a big reason. Because Archie in the comics, he does every fucking job.
Is this your Great White Rushmore? This is your real Mount Rushmore.
Well, he's the whitest. Yeah, the real one. Yeah.
No, so it's not even an uncle, a family member. It's just a fucking person you never met before.
Michael J. Fox is one of them.
Oh,
That's true. I like Michael J. Fox.
that's a good pick.
So your Mount Rushmore and your Great White Mount Rushmore are the same thing?
Oh, you can only pick one out of the 4
It's
whites.
very strict.
Yeah.
You know what? We gotta change it. Who's your Abraham Lincoln?
Oh.
You only could choose one.
So who's my great emancipator?
Who's your most fascist?
I'm really confused.
He's suspended habeas
Because
corpus.
Mount Rushmore has 4.
Yeah.
You gotta have one.
That's hard.
I don't know. We're changing the rules a
It
little
was
bit.
easier when it was 4 white guys.
Yeah, because you could choose them for different
I
reasons.
thought we're doing our real families though.
Oh, okay. Well then,
No, you're real person.
So wait, explain the Archie thing. Why Archie for you? I'm very
because
interested in
I grew up reading him in the comics, and in order to maximize, because he's in high school the whole fucking time, right? But in order to have like 1 million Archie comic stories, you have to give him different jobs and different lives, and it just made me think one dude was able to do all of his hobbies.
Yeah.
And I was
Well
like, wow, that's
like my
really
dad.
cool.
My dad did like so many different hobbies, but at like a certain degree.
Yeah, like he plays in a band, he fixes his car, he also is not too cool to take a normal ass job working in a cafe. Like I'm like, this guy's a great dude.
You're just explaining me.
that. Yeah. Joe sees himself in everything, truly.
Archie is Joe Jitsukawa.
Joe-
Right.
When Joe stands in front of a painting, he takes the colors and then he paints Joe over it.
Yep.
Yep.
He's like, that's me up there, really.
In real life, damn, that's a hard one.
Yeah, those are tough. Can we do 4? Can we pick at least 4?
Absolutely not.
It has to be 4 total.
Or
Of course
total,
you can do
right?
4. You do whatever the fuck you want. You do 7.
Okay, I think
Just have meaning behind
okay,
it.
for me, I think the first one,
I'm hung up on the number, okay?
the first one is for sure my mom, for both do's and don'ts. So the do's that I thought was really dope of her is she got divorced. My mom and my dad got divorced when I was 6, and as a single mom, like she never really let me feel financial stress or anything like that. And she always had this very like I can solve anything attitude. So like when we got left the house, we had 3 other rooms. So me and my mom would go to the grocery store because it's pre-Craigslist, pre-whatever, and we'd go to like the Chinese grocery store and put up like ads for like to seek roommates and stuff. So that my mom was like, no, we'll find a way to like pay for the house and keep the house. We don't have to sell the house or do whatever. So I felt like I got my spirit of like there's always a way to solve a problem through that. And she's just tenacious. Like there's if she wants to do something, she'll always do it.
She doesn't understand the word no.
She doesn't understand the word
Or
no.
consent. She just goes.
Yeah. And then on the same side where like my mom like loves to like fucking contribute to time travelers, I think it made me very, very skeptical of like sneaky people and be able to like kind of smell scams coming a mile away. So I think that really helped me. The other one is probably my grandparents, but those two would be just like, it would be a 2-headed head on a 1 head on the Mount Rushmore. Because I think even though I didn't have parents that had like a loving relationship, I think they were my role models of like how a relationship could play out. Because I would always see them as a kid, like holding hands, like arm in arm, walking through the park, and like just like look like at like a really lovey-dovey family that I was like, oh shit, like couples actually do this. And you would just see how like how keen they are to each other's lives. Like if my grandpa would be like, oh, it's gonna be your grandma's gonna take a nap now, and then she'll look at his cigarette box and like make sure it's like actually my grandma likes to smoke cigarettes before she sleeps. So but like, okay, we gotta go during lunchtime, we gotta go buy more cigarettes from
He's trying to kill her.
But they'll do like these little things for each other,
Yeah,
you know,
that's
like
nice.
like lay out her toothbrush, and they would just like have these little things for each other. So that was like my role model for love. I would probably say it's not as much of a big influence now, but as a kid, huge would be Bruce Lee, because I think like him being able to transcend all cultures and him even putting maybe Hong Kong cinema on the map, like he was just such a cool guy that I was like, man, this is like probably the first time where all my friends come over that weren't my culture, watched a movie and said my culture was cool.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, that's really,
Yeah,
really
that's a
cool.
big
That
deal.
is a big thing.
And that was before like Panda Express, Orange Chicken, or anything.
Yeah. Before all of that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, what's my 4th one?
How come you have to have 4?
I'm trying to think. Well, it's not Mount Rushmore.
Who said Mount Rushmore?
More about the
you
rules
made
than
my.
anything.
No, they said Mount Rushmore.
I didn't say it.
What was the prompt?
The prompt is who the fuck is the biggest impact on who you became.
See, that's why I was like, there was no Mount Rushmore.
Nick started.
I didn't say Kalyne said
your
it.
Mount Rushmore, and then I just did a bit about it. About it's got to be white people.
She's obsessed with whites, dude. Look at her. She's obsessed with them.
Oh, and then the fourth one, if I had to choose one, is my junior high assistant principal, Mr. Tarpley. Shout outs to you. During the time where like I felt like my life was over because I already got kicked out of like 3 elementary schools, and it felt like all the teachers hated me because I always got sent to the principal's office like almost every single day, and so much to the point where the principal will even talk shit and like, you're not gonna last here for long. The assistant principal, he would bring me into his room, and he just made his room like a safe place, and he just made me feel like there is hope, you know? So when you feel like the world is against you and you're a fucking loser and you can only make mistakes just by him, like, letting me be and not be ridiculed in the front office and just being in his room, and watching him, like, smear all his papers because he's left-handed. So I would just sit in his room, watch him sign shit and just literally smear everything across his notebooks.
His hands are all.
It's all black, and I'm like, this guy's really cool. And I think because of that, there's always this glimmer of hope where I'm like, if this guy believes in me, like, I think I can do better. you
That's
know?
cool. Yeah.
So those are my 4.
Love that. Thank you, Bart.
That's tight.
And Mr. Belvedere.
You want to add him to the list?
No.
Number 5? No.
I like Mr. Belvedere a lot. Yeah, he was really good. He was a very
Yeah.
We all cried.
father figure man.
Gain in your life.
Was he?
Yeah.
Maybe we all needed a bear.
At least
But we
once.
didn't even know
They're
it.
called bears.
We didn't even know.
Oh,
Gay guys.
I see. I was thinking about something else. I was like, wait, what?
Like Steve's News?
Good shit.
What about your guys' Rushmore?
I think that's it. That's 12 minutes. We're going to end the video.
I'm really trying to dig deeply and to see like who really made positive impacts.
Or negative, but shape.
There's plenty of those, but I feel like a lot of times back in the day when I put like these figures as my pedestal, what I would do is like I'd start climbing, right, to the point where my crotch reaches their face, and then I'm like slapping their face with it, and then above it, and I'm looking down on them.
Ah.
So then like I'm like, thank you for giving me a place to aim for, but there was a time when I stopped respecting you. Has that ever happened to you guys? No.
I mean, I'm petty. So I sense where you're going with this because
Yeah.
you're talking about your petty well that you drive energy from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, but then in a different place. I don't know how to explain it.
You
Like
have to conquer your enemies.
it's like let's say there was a leader like in your church or a pastor or someone that you looked up to, and then you start to see that they're human, not someone on a pedestal, and then you surpass them in a lot of ways, and you're like, you're stupid. And then you used to think they were so smart or they were so powerful. And I've had so many of those instances happen very early that I don't know if I had a huge distrust in people.
Or do you have skill sets or character traits that you're derived from them that you still rely on till this day?
Yeah, I think there's positive and negative, right? Like kind of like how you have like my mom is like I learned what not to do and what to do.
Yeah.
So like public speaking or charisma and things like that, I think I picked up from like a lot of the extroverts in my family.
Yeah.
Today's video is brought to you by Warby Parker. Has this ever happened to you? You're like, oh, I'm online shopping and these glasses, they look so cool. And it comes home and you get it and you put it on, you're like, that's not what I bought. It looks nothing like what it looked like in the pictures on the website. Well, thank goodness for Warby Parker, because they found a solution for you to be able to try on the glasses before you commit to buying on. It's called the Try On Home Kit. It is pretty sick. Look at this pair, Warby Parker. I got to try it on. Make sure I was happy with this decision before I committed with it. So the first way, you go on their site, you select the ones that you want. You can choose from 5, and then it comes to your house. You could try on the ones in front of a mirror. Be like, I like this. This one makes my nose look big. I don't know. And you keep trying different ones until you go, just like this is the best one, like Goldilocks says. And then the ones that you don't want, you send back. The ones you want, you keep.
So Warby Parker offers you everything that you need for happier eyes. Eyeglasses, sunglasses, contact lenses, and even eye exams. And you can shop with them online or in the stores. And glasses start at $95, including the prescription lenses. Try Warby Parker's free home try-on program. Order 5 pairs of glasses to try on at home, like Joe said, for free. There's no obligation to buy. It ships free and also includes a return shipping label. Try 5 pairs of glasses at home for free at warbyparker.com/off-the-record.
And then like I would say like maybe I probably have a thick skin because of the negative shit that I've been through, where it's like, oh, you can't top what happened to me in my house. So then when it happens outside or whatever, it's like whatever. So it's hard to define. I don't know. Okay, so to simplify it, right? Maybe there's teachers out there that felt like they were like, oh, you're cool. There wasn't like, and one was my Bible teacher in junior high, and he would take like some of the students out fishing and all that, and then he stopped doing it because his wife was like,
Gabriel?
No, I went to this is the Christian school I went to with Tim.
Oh, okay.
And back then it was more, I feel like there was more community, you know, like there wasn't this like, everyone's trying to molest each other, right? So then like,
That's how it is now.
he was a teacher that was more like, yeah, he was really,
Hands off.
it was different. He was cool, right? And he took some of my buddies fishing. I was supposed to go fishing, but it landed on a Saturday, so I had to go to church. Yeah. And then it was like things like moments like that where teachers kind of, it wasn't this like weird like, I'm just punishing you and you're in trouble and then you'd follow rules. Those were the opening things of, oh, they're treating me human, like they care. Yeah.
Church on a Saturday.
I know, right?
Monsters.
Yeah.
How about it?
Jeez. Kalyne, how about you?
I would say my family, my mom, my dad, and my brother. My dad specifically, just because he was such a curious person, and I would say I took traits of curiosity and variety driven in different like skill sets or interests. So like my dad was a chess master. He was like a professional rock climber, like where you climb, tie yourself to the side of the mountain, sleep, keep climbing.
That's crazy.
He was a professional dancer, like traveled. He had like the first like laser disc store too, or like Michael Jackson and Jay Leno came in.
Oh, wow.
He like cut film. Like this dude just did so much shit. Like, which I think just opened up my mind to so many other things. It made you think, okay, well, I don't have to just be one thing. I don't have to try just one thing. So I think that was a big influence on my life, for sure.
That's
Nick
so
Dunn,
fun.
you're up.
All right, dude. I've been thinking about this.
Yeah, I know. You solved a Rubik's Cube in your head the whole time.
Do it.
So, and I'm gonna stall for the next 4 minutes till this video's over.
I was stalling.
But I would say, obviously, my mom and my dad, right? My mom, she taught me how to be a little fucking, stop being a little bitch all the time, dude. That's what she taught me. No, but she stays, my mom is a hustler. Like, she gets after stuff. She's always staying busy. And she knows how to be very, very lighthearted. And I think I get a lot of my, my social skills from my mom in a lot of ways. She's really funny. Mom's hilarious.
And he's really funny too. He just
No.
He's so
Yeah,
funny.
so
Nick's so
funny.
funny.
No. Just
Crusher. He's a crusher.
no. That's not what I mean. That's not. If you guys were to meet my mom, you know, like, oh shit, like she's fucking really funny. She's way funnier than I am, because she says wild, she's unapologetic about it. My dad, I think I learned from my dad how to be, just watching him move through life. He's very adaptable. As soon as he fucking hits something, he always finds a way to make something happen, right? And I think that's a really important skill set to learn and to understand that, like, okay, yeah, if you get into a spot where, say, in a job you can't do this anymore, you could always pivot and do something else and you'll be fine. Like, just keep moving. As soon as you stop, you're dead in the water, right? One later in my life was probably my jiu-jitsu coach, Joe, the guy that is the black belt at our gym. He taught so much to me just based on being the most selfless kind of coach, teacher, always thinking about just improving no matter what. And he's one of those guys that just leads by example. Doesn't really talk much about, like, you know how some people they're kind of fake about like the things that they do and all that. He was one of those dudes that would just do things and we would watch and observe and we would just be like, okay, that's just the move that we are on. Like he creates a vibe of self-improvement without even having to talk about it all the time, you know. And because we could see how he leads from the front, we all kind of take notice, and I think that's been so helpful for all the guys that came up with him. And there's a reason why he has like what's the word I'm looking for? He has a whole group of people that would do anything for him just because of that.
Nice.
You know, and he's
brotherhood.
Like, yeah, exactly. Like everyone will ride for this dude.
He's real nice too.
Yeah, he's like one of the most selfless dudes ever, you know, and he's done so much for me without even asking for anything back in return. He's just that kind of guy. And I think later in my life, I can, it's helped me so much in the things that I've done and how to move forward. So he's definitely one of those guys that's up there. And it's something that I kind of really didn't think about until these past couple weeks of like, damn, this dude actually is a huge impact on who I am today, I think. Wow. Especially later in my life. Yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful, dude. Thank you.
That is dope.
I can tell you're like this close to crying, honestly.
No, I love that guy
I
to
appreciate
death.
that.
He's really nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He's the man.
How about you guys?
Oh, look, no more time, dude.
Well, I'm letting him. Are you good?
I'm fine.
Fucking cry. Give
Nah,
us
dude,
the
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Nick finally opens up.
That was actually really beautiful. No, I don't mean to even. I'm not even trying to make fun. That was awesome.
Nah, but also too, it's kind of hard to find the words to describe all these things because you ask some good fucking questions. Dude. I don't really
You
like
don't really
that.
think about it like.
Yeah.
Because you're probably
answer that
right.
question
There's so many
often.
people that influenced everyone here, and then like we probably don't give credit to where it's due because it's just you absorb these traits as a human and not know where they came from.
Yeah.
You don't think about it.
No, because
Really don't think about it.
yeah, that's why, and you might even be wrong attributing benefits to someone that didn't even really deserve it.
Right?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
That's true.
But
Because I
that's,
give my grandma hella praise, and my mom was like, "I did that shit," and I'm like, "Oh my bad, that was you. I thought it was my grandma."
Oh my bad.
Yeah. How about you guys? How about you guys?
quick, yeah, go for it.
I wish I fucking knew what happened to this guy, but it was my principal when I was, I think when I was a junior. He was only principal for like a year or two at San Gabriel Academy, and then I guess everybody hated him or like they wanted him out because turns out he was just like gonna write some book, and that's the only reason he wanted to be principal was to like have the experience. So then like nobody liked him. But then this dude, like, I wasn't even super close to him, but I think he did a good job observing all the students in the school, and he knew I was like super shit at school, like I was pretty bad. And then at the end of the year, he was like, "Hey, I'll get you excused from like first and second period if you come do this thing." And I thought he was gonna ask me to like do a favor or like do some work. And then it turned out he had me come to this I guess there's like something called a Bavarian club where they're like a community of like old dudes that kind of like a Elks Lodge.
Yeah.
And then so
To sing German songs or something?
sort of I
Like
don't
a
know.
Steiner's Club kind of shit?
Yeah, it's like a thing like that. And I guess he was a member. And he brought me to their, like, they have like a pancake breakfast that they do. And they do it once a year where they award one student like a small grant and like a certificate. But only if the student showed like high signs of creativity. So it had nothing to do with grades.
Wow.
He had like nominated me for it. And then I went there with
I
my,
don't even know.
I guess he just like saw the shit that I do in school.
I saw your hairstyles.
Or something, and then so I go in there, and then he's like, yeah, just tell them a little bit about yourself. And then like I told them what I like to do, whatever. They were all like clapping, and then they gave me this thing, and that's like the first time I got anything like that.
Wow.
That wasn't like directly correlated to like, oh, you got an A or a B or a C or a D, like. And then that fool was just telling me like, hey, it's not all about getting good grades, right? And I was like, what?
That's a mic drop, kind of.
Yeah.
For a kid.
Especially at that time.
Yeah.
Principal too.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that he was going to be gone. I thought I was going to see him next year.
Was
And
he
then-
was he in the chair backwards? He's like, it's not all about the grades, right?
No, but he turned his hat backwards.
I'm one of you, dude. I'm one of you.
And he told me like this.
Dude, I'm so relatable. It's so
No,
cool.
it was like, it was
How much did he give you?
super sick. It was like super not much. But then the main thing was that his name was Dr. Penner. And then I remember that it made me realize that like doing something creative was worthwhile. Because I'd never been rewarded for it. Like you get trophies for doing like piano or whatever the fuck, but like in terms of what I thought was goofing off, he saw it as like, hey, keep doing that because that could be a thing someday. And I was like, no, what? How?
And no one would ever tell you that.
Yeah.
Especially at
Nobody,
that time.
no adult would tell you that. And he was literally the only adult in 4 years of high school to actually target it like that.
Head of the game.
And then he pieced out. I never saw him again. I don't know if he like passed away by now or something.
And there's no record of him ever existing. He was an angel.
It was a fever dream.
He appeared in the mist and he left.
Yeah.
He's like Mary Poppins.
Wow, that's
He's Michael Landon from Highway to Heaven.
That's sick, bro.
Yeah. I was trying to look him up right now, but I can't even figure out his first name.
I can't figure out Mr. Tarpley, my
Yeah.
assistant principal. I've been trying to look him up for years, but it was during a time
Predates the public storage of data.
Yeah.
They made such an impact on you guys, you forgot their fucking names.
I know mine. His name's Marlon Tarpley.
Marlon Tarpley.
But
Yeah, but yeah, it's crazy to think that does change everything, even though it was like that one gesture. Because really, I thought all the creative stuff I liked doing was a distraction from what I'm supposed to be doing. So it's like, oh, like you shouldn't be doing that till this is done. But then here, I was like, oh, there's a good side to it. Yeah.
What about you, Steve?
Quickly, right? In and out. Bill Murray for sure.
Ooh.
Because I remember watching Ghostbusters as a little kid and going like, that's what I want to do. I want to be a funny person. And then that was awesome for me. But then like my grandfather, definitely for showing me, my father and my grandfather for showing me like what it's about, like being a man, what it's about, and like how important it is to like, you can't just like be a forceful person. Like my grandfather, I always saw him as like this forceful person and shit.
He's the veteran guy. right?
Veteran,
Yeah.
Marine, badass motherfucker. When he got taken to the hospital at the end of his life, he had just gone to Costco like 2 days prior, and they're like, this guy has like 4 broken ribs, and he wasn't even in the hospital for that. Like he was just on another level. Never ever let them see you bleed was his whole thing. Like you just don't like bleed on people. Like you just, you're a strong person and shit. But then that's another beautiful thing I learned from him, because he would always shut himself in. I think he was dealing with a lot of pain, obviously physical pain. Now that I know that, but he would like watch movies on full blast in the other room. He's like watching old war movies and shit, like fucking like Bunker Hill and just shit that
old
nobody
ones.
wants to sit there and watch with him. Right?
The river, bridge over the river Kwai.
Yeah, dude, fucking all this terrible shit. And then, but I think that, watching him do that, I was like, I don't want to be that guy. Like, I don't want to be the guy where everyone is, like, my family's around and I am absconded.
It's like alienated.
Yeah, and who knows what he was dealing with. I try not to judge, obviously. But it's like, man, I really did learn, like so much strength from him, but then I saw so much weakness in that, and I tried to do the opposite of that, try to be empathetic, try to understand where people are coming from a lot more. And then obviously I think that Hitler for what not to do.
Oh, thank God for that last moment.